Hi, welcome to Thea's table and Lawrence's table. Now, usually around this table we have a lot of conversation, good laughs, good food, good drinks. But right now during COVID-19, it's maybe not the best time to meet up with old and new friends. However, some of my friends have asked me the same questions over and over again, and a couple requested that I put this all together in a concise vlog. And maybe this will be helpful to you and save you some time. I'm not really a medical expert. I'm not a medical expert at all, actually. But I am quite studious. And if you are studious too, I will leave you a few links below that you can follow. And that will keep you informed, and they are reliable. But what qualifies me in some shape or form? First of all, Lawrence and I survived SARS in Taiwan in 2002. And I learned quite a few things there that are helpful today in this specific COVID-19 pandemic. Secondly, I survived through the floods in Bangkok. That was around 2012, and I've seen the emptying, the absolute crazy shopping that you might see too, and that you now see in America and in some other countries. And I survived that, and I know how to stock up properly. Did it well then, and I did it well now. And right now we're 6 weeks into the COVID-19 pandemic, and I've taken some precautionary measures, and I would like to share that with you in a concise and not depressing manner, and maybe it will save you some time and hopefully keep you safe. So regardless of whether you live in a country with no cases, low cases, or a lot of cases, some of this will be helpful. I hope it is. Now, the virus is called SARS-CoV-2, and the disease is called COVID-19, and even I get confused. I had to look at my notes for a moment here. But it doesn't matter what you call it. What matters is to know what makes it dangerous and what you should take care of. Now, what is important about this virus? First of all, if you have no cases in your country, then you might want to know that in Italy and in Washington State, they estimate, and I'm talking about scientists, not the news anchors, they estimate that the virus had been in the country for about 3 to 6 weeks before they discovered the first case. And that's the problem here. That's the problem if you are in a country with no cases. Think of that. You might want to know that and think about it. Furthermore, South Korea has the most cases outside of China, but they test aggressively. You won't have any cases if you won't test for them, or if you can't test for them. Another question you should ask yourself: in your country, do you have a problem with testing kits? Do you have testing kits? Because that will determine a lot of things about this virus that will keep you safe or not safe. So the first thing you should know is it is not the flu. Why is it not the flu? Well, first of all, it's a novel virus. We don't know really what it is yet. We know some things about it, but we don't really know. And if anybody tells you, it's just like the flu, they're either uninformed or they're trying to mislead you, and you should stay away from that information. The second reason why it's not the flu at all is the R0 is far higher. What is the R0? It's the rate of infection. Now, I think the R0 for the flu, if I remember correctly, is something like one person infects 1 point something people. But the R0 for this, it keeps on changing because we have emerging data here, but the R0 is far higher. It's estimated now by the World Health Organization to be between, I think, 2 to 5, but some people even say up to 7, and I'm talking about scientists in China and people who analyze Italy's data. So what does it mean? One person can infect 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 people. Each of those people, those, let's say 6 people, can infect another 6, and so on. So that is what makes this virus so extremely virulent. It spreads far faster than the flu spreads, and that is something to remember. Now, another reason why it's not the flu is the fact that it spreads asymptomatically. Now, I have quite a few notes that I want to remind you of here, so I'm just going to take a look at those. First of all, that unlike the flu, the spreading of the disease asymptomatically complicates the issue even more, which means that you can't know if someone is contagious. Now, with SARS, you could tell. could see someone coughing or sniffling or they looked ill, and you could just, gently back away and go to another location. But with this, you don't know. And within 12 to 14 hours, within 12 to 14 hours, you can be infectious. And the problem with this is that a person might look great, and there's one extreme case in China that's been documented for up to 27 days. This person didn't look ill. But a lot of people for 2 weeks look fine, and then they get the virus or develop the actual disease. They have the virus, but they develop the disease. And that's the problem with the 2-week quarantine. Not quite sure why they just put people for 2 weeks under quarantine. But that's important to know. And you want to know about this because you can infect others or be infected by someone who looks quite well. And that is where it differs greatly from SARS-1 and from the so-called flu, as the comparison has been made by experts. So I don't really want to depress you, but we have to look at the death rate quickly. And I promise, not all of my videos will be so heavy, but this is something that you should know. It is not the flu because the death rate is far higher. Now, it differs from expert to expert, and because it is emerging data, it is a novel virus, we haven't pinpointed it quite yet. But let me take a look at my notes here, because the latest death rate that the World Health Organization here confirmed is to be between 2 and 5%, which is pretty high actually compared to the flu. But it differs from expert to expert. Now, you have to remember that the death rate is also dependent on the kind of healthcare you have in your country. Do they test? Do they know that people have this viral pneumonia, or actually not viral pneumonia, this SARS pneumonia, and will they put them in intensive care? And do they have enough oxygen tanks, enough beds? Can they take care of a large amount of people? And as we've seen in Iran, they can't, so the death rate there is quite high. But that's just a quick look at the death rate. I don't want you to focus on that, because really, to be negative is bad for your immune system, and you really don't want that. Now you need your immune system to be top-notch. Now, I've observed news anchors in a variety of countries across the world going through these 3 stages. First of all, they say, it's nothing to worry about. And then they have 1 or 2 cases, and they would say, it's similar to the flu. It's just like the flu. And then they have a cluster of cases or a big jump in numbers, and they say, it is a deadly disease sweeping across the nations. And the truth is in the middle. It is serious, but there's lots that you can do to lessen its effect on your life. I hope to help you with this in the next few videos. If you want to meet up again, please press the subscribe button. Let's talk again. See you soon, and I have some more practical tips for you. Bye.